Good morning and welcome to another video here from the Radisson Red Hotel in central Helsinki. The city seems to just be coming to life. There's a couple of trains, the train station's just here, there's a couple of trains going past. But today we are leaving Helsinki for the day and we are going to a city that a lot of tourists would never think of going to. It's really easy to get to, it's just an hour away by bus. It is one of the most significant cities in Finland. It was the medieval capital for a long time. Our bus leaves from Kamppi bus station, which is about a 10-15 minute walk from the hotel, at 9:45 this morning. Right, breakfast had. Let's go and get the bus to Porvoo. As usual for me, I'm running late. My bus is in 19 minutes. And it's supposed to take about 16 minutes to get there. The bus terminal at Kamppi is underneath a shopping centre, and I think there are quite a few different platforms, so I hope I can find the place, because you have to reserve a ticket on a time service. You might be able to just turn up and buy a ticket, but to get the cheapest price, it was just under €9 each way. You have to reserve a specific time. So we are travelling with a company called Onibus today to Porvoo. It should take about 55 minutes. This red bus that you can see outside, it's OB71. It seems quite busy. It leaves about 9:45 this morning, so it seems quite busy, but let's see what it's like on board. It should be quite a quick journey. I don't think there'll be much to see outside the window. It goes along motorways, but we will see. Hello. Thank you. Thank you. So I'm being one of the cool kids at the back. There's not much leg room on this bus, but we're only on it for an hour, so it should be fine. So welcome to Porvoo, about an hour's drive from Helsinki on the motorway. Not much to see along the way. It seems quite a busy town, this. So let's go and explore and see what we can find. So I think this is a good place to start. This guy pretty much put Porvoo on the map. Johan Runeberg, Finnish poet, the national poet of Finland, who he wrote in Swedish. So this was when Finland was part of the Swedish kingdom. But he wrote most of the important poems that basically they set the culture for Finland that we see today. He wrote about how Finns want self-determination and how Finns are a separate culture to the Swedes and other Scandinavian countries, and he has a tart named after him, a cake here, and we'll learn more about Runeberg as we start to explore this town. It's a bit bigger than I thought it would be, and a lot more built up. I'm still trying to find the historic bit of the town. Or maybe it's a city. It's probably a city, it's quite big. But so far, most of the buildings are these horrible breeze block things here. So I'm in a place that's called Old Porvoo, but it seems quite new to me. According to Google Maps, I should be on the other side of the river we've just crossed. But not far from here, there's an old railway station. So Porvoo doesn't have trains that I know of anymore. But there's an old railway station apparently with lots of old railway carriages. So I'm going to see if I can find that first, and then we'll head back to the centre of the old town bit. This is probably the most iconic symbol of Porvoo, the old warehouses. So I think a lot of these were built during the Swedish rule in Finland, and they would have been used for storage of goods travelling up the river here. So that building you can see with the roof, the white building, we'll visit that in a bit. That is Porvoo Cathedral, and that's probably one of the main reasons to come here, to understand the role that Porvoo has played in the development of Christianity in Europe in the past couple of hundred years. So we'll visit that a little bit later, but we'll get to the railway station first. So this feels wrong. I've been assured that the train station hasn't been operating for decades, but we can actually walk along the train tracks here. I think this is the old train station. It's now seems to be people's houses. Or maybe this is the old station. I'm not quite sure what I'm looking at here. This seems trainy. There are supposed to be some old locomotives around, but I can't find anything. I think these are still in use as workshops. Ah, this way looks promising. I can see in the distance some old train sets, I think. Some old carriages. Again, I've been told this line is closed, but I'm the only one walking on the tracks. So, yeah, I'm hoping a train doesn't come and squash me while I'm walking. The tracks do seem to have been maintained on this side anyway, not on the other side. So I know nothing about trains, so I can't give you any commentary about what the train carriages are or the type or anything useful. But I've never been this close to a train carriage this big before. These things are huge. Won't even fit in shot. I'm not going to walk too far down the line because I don't know where the line actually ends. These lines seem to have been maintained to me. I'm thinking this is probably a live cargo shed or cargo yard, and I don't want to test my luck, so I think I'm going to cross the lines. Oh, there's no pavement on the other side, so I'm going to cross the lines and head back into town, and then head over to the old town across that little wooden bridge we saw just past the wooden warehouses. Well, they definitely built this cathedral on a secure, steep hill. I don't think the video does it justice just how steep this hill is, and on cobblestones too. So So behind me is the historically significant Porvoo Cathedral. Let's go and have a look inside and I'll tell you a bit more about why this is one of the most important churches in Europe. This building was originally constructed entirely of wood in the 13th century. It was burned down a few times by the Danes, and then it was built in brick and ransacked by the Russians a couple of times. It represents the Swedish-speaking part of Finland, and you can see Swedish on all of the street signs around here. But what is most significant is this was the location of the signing of the Porvoo Convention in 1992, which basically aligned the confirmations and the catechisms and the beliefs in communion with the Protestant churches of Northern Europe. So as an Anglican, as Church of England worshipper, I can go to a Lutheran church in Finland or in Sweden or in Lithuania or any of the others that signed the convention and take communion, and they can do the same in my church. This changed the way that Protestantism became united in Northern Europe, and it's a really important church because of that. So, Porvoo Cathedral dates back to the 15th century. It was originally built of wood. So this is the medieval bit of Porvoo. Brightly coloured wooden houses. Slightly spoiled by a Porsche. So all of a sudden quite a few tourists, most of them domestic I think. So Finnish people have arrived. It's about 1:30 in the afternoon, but all you need to do is walk away from the main cathedral and the main high street and you find yourselves down really quiet alleyways like this. I've been walking for about 10 minutes and I haven't seen anyone. I haven't seen any locals, haven't seen any tourists, but this is what Porvoo would have looked like hundreds of years ago. It's quite a peaceful place to come and get away from the sounds and busyness of Helsinki. Isn't this a quaint view? So I've just seen a couple of just chatting with cups of tea outside of the houses. I haven't got a clue what they were talking about, but they seemed to be enjoying the conversation. I'm trying to now find Castle Hill. Google Maps is saying it's this way, across a marshy area, but if I turn the camera around, that seems to be a hill going upwards. So I'm wondering if I should be on that side of the river. I'll keep walking for a bit and then maybe turn round and go across the river if there isn't a bridge a bit farther down this way. I've gone very off the beaten track now. I'm literally just outside of Porvoo and we're in the middle of, it's like a typical Finnish forest up to this castle on a hill. So I think that shows that you don't need to go far from Helsinki, which is pretty green, but it's all artificial grass. It's not natural forest, it's a city, but you don't need to go far to find somewhere like this. Quiet, solitude, nature, fresh air, wildlife. Now where do I go? Left? Left seems the more rustic path. Let's see if we end up somewhere totally off the beaten track. It's getting really warm now, unexpectedly for Finland. So if you remember in the previous video, we were talking about the weather being one of the factors that makes Finland one of the happiest countries in the world. Well, I think today proves that it's not always cold and snowy here. It does get quite warm, which is not ideal when you're climbing up a steep hill. And that's what we need, some really steep steps up to the summit of this hill, I'm assuming. Oh, we're not there yet. More steps. So that's the hill that a castle once stood on, but it was apparently made of wood and disintegrated over the centuries. It was there since the 1200s. So yeah, do you think that was worth the effort? Let me know. I'm now going back towards, I think, Siltapuisto Park, and then back towards the centre. You can see the top of the church just in shot there. So, jumper off. My phone says it's now 19 Celsius. I was not expecting it to be this warm. It was quite chilly in Helsinki this morning. We've only come an hour away. But yeah, I'm now stood next to what was the medieval port apparently, to stock the castle. So this marshy area used to stretch all the way along where there's now bushes and weeds, and I guess that would have supplied the small medieval town of Porvoo and brought goods to the cathedral, which would have had a lot of influence in medieval Porvoo and this part of what was then Sweden / Finland / Russia. I think it's time for a quick sit down. Just sit here. I've got about an hour and a half until my bus back to Helsinki, and I think I've done everything. I still haven't found anywhere that sells a Runeberg tart. I heard they were really big here, but I've had a quick look through some of the cafes and restaurant windows and there aren't any. So if you think I've missed anything, let me know. I can't eat it anyway because it's made from wheat, but it would have been nice to see what the hype is all about. But anyway, I'm just going to sit here, watch some ducks, swans, whatever, and try not to melt away in the heat. So back at the bus station here in central Helsinki, what did you think of Porvoo? I think it was a really easy day trip, an hour each way. Really nice to see all the medieval colourful buildings, relaxing nature. I did fail in trying to find a Runeberg tart though. Let me know where I should have gone to find one. But before I end this video, there's one last thing I want to do in Helsinki, and there's a shop just around the corner that I want to visit for some typical Finnish design to take home as a souvenir, and then I'll go back to my hotel for the night. But I hope you enjoyed watching. Give this video a like, thumbs up, leave a comment if you enjoyed it or you think I've missed anything in Porvoo, or do you have any other good day trips that you think I should be doing while I'm in Helsinki. But yeah, thanks for watching.